There is a Supreme Court order, right, which states that they are liable to pay house tax.
All the government installations are liable to pay 33 and 1/3.
Long time back, at least around 6 to 8 months back, we ourselves as council, we had taken a resolution.
4 kilometers radius around the airport reference point was treated as a restricted area.
सर इसके लिए हमारे खुद की अपनी गाइडलाइन है, हमारे खुद की अपनी गाइडलाइन है कि ये चीजें होनी है नहीं होनी है, कितनी फ्लोर का बनना है, रिक्वायरमेंट जस्टिफाइड है कि नहीं, स्ट्रेंथ इतनी है भी कि नहीं।
सिर्फ नेवी के वजह से तो आप लोग कुछ भी डिसीजन यहाँ पे ले रहा है। अगर यहाँ पे हम लोग को कोई हमारे जुडिशरी में कोई कंस्ट्रक्शन करने का है तो हमको नेवी का परमिशन लेना पड़ता है, और उल्टा जब नेवी का अपना एरिया में जो वो लोग बिल्डिंग बांध रहे हैं 3, 5, 6 फ्लोर का, वो लोग को किसी का परमिशन नहीं चाहिए। तो उसके लिए अगर हम लोग डिबेट करेगा तो उसका आंसर देने के लिए आप है ना, आप लोग आंसर करेगा ना कि चुपचाप सुन के आगे इन्फॉर्म करेगा, अभी मांगता हमको, बाद में डिस्कशन चालू करेंगे हम लोग।
How was the meeting? Yeah, the meeting was very good. First of all, I want to congratulate MMC for organizing this meeting. Basically, the problem in Vasco is that Navy has started applying the restrictions under some Ministry of Defence guidelines. We don't agree with these restrictions because the guidelines itself says that in case other acts apply in that area where the project is proposed, acts such as Aircraft Act, Cantonment Act and other acts which are laws in the Union of India, then those guidelines should not be applied. But the Navy is ignoring that provision of its own guidelines, and they are misapplying the guidelines and denying the project proponents the NOCs. These guidelines are issued by Ministry of Defence, not by Navy. So if Navy ignores the guidelines, they are effectively disobeying the Ministry of Defence. We have tried and we have conveyed this message to all the naval authorities. We have met FOGA, we have met various people, and they have no answer to this when we ask them that why are you obeying your own ministry's guidelines. So they off the record they tell us that we are helpless, etc. But this is not correct because entire construction activity in Mormugao Taluka is coming to a standstill, and this has to stop. Those who are following the law have to be given their permissions, and they cannot be denied the permissions because of some internal guidelines. Those guidelines can be applied where there are no laws prevailing in those areas. That's our stand. We are desperately trying to make the Navy understand. We are not fighting with the Navy because they are our country's Navy, but we are trying to make them understand that this is not correct on their part. As a central government organization, they should not be harassing the people.
Saribab, 2 more points that I was hearing during the meeting. One was that you said that the local authorities like the municipality and the PDA should give you a construction license.
Yes.
In case you have applied for the naval permission, I have not got it as yet. So what do you want to say on that?
In Goa, we have our construction and development regulations, and we are entitled to our permissions. One of the requirements has always been to get the clearance under the Aircraft Act. Now, when we apply for the clearance under the Aircraft Act, and the Navy denies us the clearance because by citing the guidelines, we want that Goa government should take a stand that if we are not in violation of the law, then we should be given our permissions. Late Mr. Manoj Parrikar had already taken a stand on this issue, and he had issued a circular in 2012, that is hardly 1 year after the guidelines came, and he said that the Navy cannot enforce these guidelines and they have to follow the law. So from 2012 to 2020, the Navy has not been enforcing these guidelines, and construction have come up all around their establishments. So how can it be a security threat now that only new constructions will pose a threat and old constructions will not pose a threat? So Navy knows very well that they are doing the wrong thing, but why they are persisting, we don't know.
Is it not very strange that though you are not in violation, it is you who have to approach the court sometimes?
Exactly. So what we want Goa government to do is we want Goa government to take a stand. Chief Secretary of Goa has already written a letter to the Ministry of Defence, and he told them very clearly that what they are doing is wrong. So what we want Goa government is to issue a directive to local planning authorities to please issue the constructions where the Navy does not show that the project proponent is in violation of Aircraft Act. Once that is established, then they should be given the permissions. Let the Navy, if they so believe that it is very important about the 500 meters, let them go to the court. We'll see what the court has to say, because we are very confident that the court will always support the law, and they will not deny the citizens the benefit of the law. The law is always for the benefit of citizens also, no? So Aircraft Act is a act that is prevailing since 1934, and the rules under Aircraft Act, the height restrictions are international restrictions. They are not Navy's restrictions. They are not Navy's calculations. So we ourselves know when we are in violation of Aircraft Act. So when we put an application before the Navy, we know very well that we will get it. That's
Yes,
what.
thank you sir. बहुत बड़ा मीटिंग हुआ है.
एक्चुअली क्या ना इसमें अब ये हम जितना पॉइंट हम नोट कर लिए हैं और बहुत जल्दी इस पे हम अपना पॉइंट लेकर आएंगे.
Second round of meeting होगा इसमें.
बिल्कुल क्यों नहीं होगा, जितना जल्दी हम जाके ऑफिस में
But all the points have been noted by you, right?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल मैं सब पॉइंट नोट.
See what happens, Navy is not bothered about the citizens of Vasco. Navy has been behaving like an extra constitutional authority. Our meeting, we had meetings with our MLAs and our ministers, and our minister had arranged a meeting also with the Chief Secretary and Navy. Navy was so bad in that meeting, our Chief Secretary ultimately said, please don't pay lip service, we have to solve this matter together. Now when the Chief Secretary speaks in such a manner, it is understood what Navy wants to do in Vasco. In fact, when you look at all issues, Navy has issued demolition notice to Zuari Agrochemicals. Zuari Agrochemicals produces fertilizers. You demolish Zuari Agrochemicals, our food security of India is at a threat. Navy has issued notices to common people. They have demolished the houses of common people. We all say Modi ki guarantee, sabko ghar. But Navy here is against the interests of the people and is demolishing everybody's houses. This is all I have to say. Thank you.
Girish.
इट वॉज अ ग्रेट इनिशिएटिव बाय चेयरपर्सन ऑफ मर्मगाव की आज जे इशू फेस करता इट्स नॉट ओनली पंचायत, आज फुल मर्मगाव तालुका इशू फेस करता. सो दे हॅड कॉल्ड ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स, ऑल द इफेक्टेड पार्टी जितले आसली पळय सगळ्यांक आपोवन आज नेव्ही वांगडा एक बरी मिटींग जाली. नेव्ही ऑल्सो दे ऑफिशल्स दे अंडरस्टूड दॅट इट इज आवर फॉल्ट. बट एवरी टायम जेन्ना आमी मिटींग घेता पळय, इट वॉज एज अ चीफ सेक्रेटरीएटान जेन्ना मिटींग जाली ते मानून घेता आमचे फॉल्ट आहा, पण मागीर इम्प्लिमेंटेशन जायना. सो समवेअर दॅट प्रेशर इज लॅकिंग. म्हाका दिसता की खंय तरी सरकारान इन्वॉल्व जावपाचो आनी एक प्रेशर घालपाचो नेव्हीचेर, जे अन्याय जाता पळय लोकांचेर ते बंद जावपाक जाय. सो इट वॉज अ गुड इनिशिएटीव बाय गिरीश बोरकर.
आम्ही आयज आमचो इश्यू आसलेलो सर्वीस टॅक्स जे नेव्ही भरना त्याच्या वांगडा आमी आमचे स्टेक होल्डर्सांकूच आपयल्ले आनी तुमकां खबर आहा वास्कोन कितें प्रॉब्लम आसा तो. पूण आयज खंय तरी नेव्हीकूय कळ्ळें बाबा हे इतले प्रॉब्लम वास्को शहरान आसा म्हणून. ती फर्स्ट टायम अशी मिटींग जाली जेन्ना नेव्ही पासून येयले, कावन्सिलर येयले, स्टेक होल्डर्स येयले, बऱ्यांची बरी मिटींग जाली. आमी तांकां तीच टायम दिला बाबा हे आमचे इश्यूज अशे आहात, ते इश्यू खंय तरी तांकां सुटावो येवपाक जाय. आनी आशा बागयता नेव्ही कडचे बाबा खंय तरी सुटावो जातलो, कित्याक आमचे लोक आमचे जशे आमचे बिल्डर आसूं नाल्यार गरीब लोक आसूं जेणी जागा घेतल्या, घरां बांदपाक जाय, तांकां NOC मेळना, पयशे लायलेले आसा, भांगराक घातलेले एका घाण दवरलेली आहा. पूण खंय तरी सुटावो जावपाक जाय. आनी म्युन्सिपाल्टी जी आतां आमची आसा, आमकां टॅक्स मेळना, काय मेळना ते खंय तरी मेळपाक जाय. तोय आमचे कितें आमकां आनी आधार खंयचोच ना. तुमकां खबर आहा आमची हालत कितें बेकार आहा ती. खंय ना खंय आतां आमी चालू केलेले असेसमेंटूय चालू आहा आनी IOCचेय चालू आहा, HPCL चालू आनी हेतून ते गोवा शिपयार्डूय येयले नाल्यार नेव्ही येयले जाल्यार आमची खंय तरी म्युन्सिपाल्टी खंय स्थिर जातली. आनी इतलेच म्हणटा आनी काय जास्ती काय उलयना. आमकां सगळ्यांनी हे सहयोग दिलो, सगळे बिल्डर्स येयले, बरें दिसलें, सगळ्यांनी उलयलें, सगळ्यांनी आपणाची भडास काडली, आमचे कावन्सिलरूय उलयले. हेचेर जास्ती काय उलयना. म्हाका जाय एक पॉझिटिव्ह रिपोर्ट पॉझिटिव्ह कितें येयत जाल्यार नेव्हीवाल्यान ते विल बी बेटर फॉर द वास्कोकार. आनी ह्या खातीर आयज फर्स्ट टायम ही बरी मिटींग जाली.
सेकंड मिटींग आसतलें हेच्या मागीर.
सेकंड मिटींग आमी विथीन 30 days टायम दिला तांकां आनी आमचें कितें आहा तें आमी तांकां मांडलेलें आसा. ते विथीन 30 days तेंच्यांनी ते आमकां तेंच्या सायडीसून आमकां आयकपाक जाय कितें आहा तें.
So basically म्हणल्यार आयज जे सिट्युएशन जाला वास्कोन and the surrounding areas, Navy is actually become the villain. Sometimes you say you're portrayed as the villain, but the truth is Navy has actually become the villain. They are not aware of how civilians are affected. They are not aware, and at least I feel they care a damn. That is what I feel. Now, the first issue that came was about house tax today. House tax for the Navy, in Mangor itself, there will be more than 4,000 units of this. More than 4,000 units not assessed for house tax. Now, as there is a Supreme Court order which states that they have to be assessed for all central government agencies have to be assessed for house tax at 33%. We made a letter to them, no response. Only INS Jivanti, they gave us a response with regards to that. So our thing was, what is being done? Why are our authorities quiet? Why is the CEO quiet? Why is the chairperson quiet about this? Why are we quiet? So today's meeting was with regards to that and the other issues being faced by the government. So we took a call as far as this is concerned. The house tax assessment is to be done. So we will coordinate with them. Today their two officers came. But they are also just like messengers. They'll go and convey to their higher authorities. The second issue, दूसरा issue was about the problems being faced in Vasco. Now there was a High Court matter that was there with regards to the funnel zone, which was filed as regards Dabolim Airport. And that High Court, that order is standing. Now it's basically as regards the funnel zone. What is happening is today in Vasco, we were not a party to that. The municipality was not a party to that. That case was against the PDA, State of Goa and Chikalim Panchayat. Now any files that are there, obviously they have to be vetted by the Navy. Earlier it was only the funnel zone. But now as per that order, I am not questioning the order. But what is happening is Navy is citing their own internal circulars. They are citing their own internal circulars and blocking everything. Today Vasco, once upon a time, our municipality, we used to get revenue of 5 to 6 crores a year on municipal licenses. Today we are not even at 50 lakhs. And that is only on renewals because naval permissions are not coming. Airport is there. Airport is 4 kilometers away. But Navy is denying permissions to Vasco people also. For what reason? People are leaving Vasco and going. We are suffering. Our economy is suffering. Vasco is dying. And what is the Navy doing about it? They are least bothered. They are dying not because of the inaction. I wouldn't say inaction, but the indifference of the Navy. Something has to be done. This was a right step. I congratulate our chairperson, the municipality, for taking this call, for having this meeting, and we're going to have a follow-up meeting on this because they've said they'll go back to their authorities.
So, you think the state government should now intervene and take some action? Or
State government has to intervene. No, we are civilians. आम्ही इंगाचे लोक, आम्ही इंगाचे स्थानिक लोक. We were there for donkeys years. Today we are zero मरे. आज किती आज लोकाचे किती? तू हुए राहतो. Whether it is Mangor, Shantinagar, हुए Vasco, हुए. Where are we? We are nowhere. Navy is just blocking everything. Today they have, I'll just tell you how they are just, Mangra ne gate aate त्यांचे, Varnapuri gate. It is clearly written, Sailors Residential Colony. They are not assessed for house tax, fine. That is the first part. Second part is that gate itself is illegal. All of you all are press guys, right? Tumso report 3rd April, your report is there, 3rd April 2023. You're with the MLA, you're with the collector. Great job. They are taking their gate, they are removing their illegal gate, they are removing the illegal garden. It's still there. So it's not your fault. I'm saying you reported what they stated. But nothing, it's still there. It's still there. That's what they've got 10 floor buildings, 10 floor, 33 meter buildings, just 100 meters from the runway. Today we want to build a ground plus one near KTC bus stand, we can't do. Why? Because they are citing their internal notifications. Internal circular saying, no, this is our property, Jivanti, over there. So 500 meters from there, nothing can come up.
One proposal was put up saying that in case the Navy wants to have the 500 meter radius, they should acquire the land. You think this is correct?
That is the law, no? I'm by with the Ingson. Let Navy only take over everything. We'll leave and go. The way Navy is behaving, that's what I'm saying, no? And then, today I'm speaking like this, we should not be called anti-nationals. But this is how we are being treated. And that's not right. That is what we wanted to convey to them. We have conveyed. Hopefully, we reach something.
ॲक्च्युली पयलीं सुवातेर हांव आमच्या चॅरपर्सनाचें अभिनंदन करता. देव बरें करूं म्हणटा की हो इशू जे वास्कोकार सफर जाता, हांव वास्कोकार म्हणजे फूल ज्युडिशरी म्हणटा हांव. सफर जाता तो तेणी हांगा मिटिंगेन हायलायट करून हाडल्या बद्दल आनी ते तेंच्यांनी एक नेवलाचे ऑफिशियल्स हाडून बसयल्ल्या बद्दल. इतलेंच न्हू जाल्यार हांगा थोडे म्हणजे जे इफेक्टेड मेंबर्स आहा लायक बिल्डर्स जावं कोण लँड ओनर्स आहा ते हांगा हे मिटिंगेन प्रेजंट आसलेले. हांव खंय टॅक्निकल मनीस न्हू, म्हळ्यार म्हाका अशें दिसून येता की हांगा आमकां डिफेन्साचेर किंवा नेवलाचेर मोग आसा आनी मोग आसपाक जाय, कित्याक ते आमच्या देशाक लागून झगडटात. पूण हांगा अशें जाल्लें वास्कोन आमी एनिमी खेळलेले, रायवलरी काही चाललेली आसा. नेवीचे मनीस कोण दिसता पळय तेंचो राग येता, आमकां सिव्हिलियन्सांक राग येता पळोवपाकूच जाल्यार. कित्याक काय म्हटल्यार ही जी एरिया जी सगळी आपूण तेंच्यांनी जी झोन तेंच्यांनी हें केलेलो आसा 4 किलोमिटर्स कांय बांदपाचें ना पळय तितून सगळे जाण बेजारलेले आसा. आमी सादें म्हणटा आमकां कांय खबर ना टॅक्निकल, म्हणून समज बारीकशें समज एक कंपाऊंड वॉल सुद्दां बांदतलो न्हू जाल्यार नेवलाची परमिशन जाय पडटा. कित्याक लागून आमी म्युन्सिपालिटीन हो जो पॉयंट घेतलेलो चेअरपर्सनान तो फक्त हावस टॅक्साक लागून. हावस टॅक्स घेवपाक तेंचे हांगा एक सुप्रीम कोर्टाची ऑर्डर आसा की तेंच्यांनी जो 33% टॅक्स भरचो पडटा म्हणून, आनी तो भरपाक लागून आमी ते अजून भरिनात. ते भरिना म्हणून आयज तांकां आमी आपयलेले. आयज आमची म्युन्सिपालिटी बँकक्रप्टान चल्लेली आसा. आमकां सॅलरी घालपाक त्रास जाता. वेरेज आमची मॅक्झिमम एरिया पळय ते हेंच्यांनी कवर केल्लेली आसा, पूण आमकां टॅक्स फारीक करिना. सो टॅक्स तेंच्यांनी 33% तेंचे फारीक करपाक जाय, ताका लागून मुद्दाम तांकां आपयलेले आसा. तेंची बिल्डिंगी आहा सारकी फनल एरियान तेच्या झोनान भितर कंपाउंडान बांदलेले आहा. 10-12 फ्लोराची बिल्डींग बांदलेली आसा. तांकां काय परमिशन लागना. तेंची सगळे सारकें आसा. आमचे जे भायर आसा तांकांच त्रास जाता. आयज आमच्या वास्कोकारांक सांगता जे बिजनस एक डॅड जाल्लो आसा, कांयच ना. आमी एक आयसोलेटेड काय सायडीक पडलेल्या भितर आनी हे आनी हेतून अशें दिसता की जे बिल्डर जे आहा पळय ते सुद्दां सोडून गेल्लेले आसा. हांव एक गव्हर्मेंटा कडेन रिक्वेस्ट करता, नेवला कडेन रिक्वेस्ट करता, डिफेन्सा कडेन रिक्वेस्ट करता, ही जी ज्युडिशरी जंय वास्को किंवा मुरगांव कोर्टांनी किंवा दाबोलीम किंवा तेंची एरिया पडटा पळय आमकां सगळ्यांक खंय तरी रिहॅबिलेट करा आनी फूल एरिया तुमी घेयात. होच आमी प्रश्न मांडलेलो आसा आनी कांय उपाय ना. सो आमचे रिलेशन बरें उरतलें तेंचे कडेन. अशें जावपाक जायना. आयज थोडे उलोवपाक लागले काश्मीर जेन्ना आर्मी अशें रावता पळय थंयसरले लोक येता आनी तेंचे फातर मारता आनी ते कांय करूं शकना. हातीन गन आसतना सुद्दां कांय करूं शकना. पूण आयज आमचे नरेंद्र भाई मोदीन फूल परमीट केल्लेलें आसा. खंय दुश्मनांनी समज एक गुळी मारली जाल्यार तुमी 4 गुळयो मारा म्हणून अशें केलें. तांकां फूल पावर्स दिल्लो आसा. म्हणून आयज थंयसर आमी खूश आहा सरकाराचेर की थंयसर ते डिफेन्साक आमी फूल म्हणजे ते कितें एक्शन करूं शकता. पूण हांगा अशें जाल्लें आसा की आमी दुश्मन काय जाल्लेले आसा. आमी कॉपरेट करता. आमचे एक कावन्सिलरान एक इशू काडलो. तेजे कावन्सिलान तो गार्बेज कचरो आवट कंपाउंडाच्या भायर तो काडपाक गेलो जाल्यार थंयसर गन बी घेवन सगळे जाण ताका थंयसर एटॅक करपाक लागले आनी ते कचरो काडपाक दिवना. म्हणजे कचरो काय ते कित्याक भितर बारूद आसला कित्याक हांवें आर्म्स एम्युनिशन आसा कचरो काडपाक तेणी आमकां दिवना. म्हणजे अशें दिसता की आमी दुश्मन आनी ते दुश्मन आहा काय. तशें अशें कांय ना. सो हेका लागून आमी डिसिजन घेतलेलें आसा. चेअरपर्सनान सांगलां की हांकां जे ऑफिशल्स आहा फोगा आसूं जे कोण आसूं तांकां घेवन एक CMA कडेन एक बरीशी मिटींग घेवपाक जाय. रेव्हेन्यू डिपार्टमेंटान ताका घेवन एक मिटींग घेवपाक जाय आनी मिटींग घेवनूच खंय तरी आउटकम काडपाचो. नाजाल्यार म्हाका पर्याय सुटपाचो व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट आसा.